Looked like no, so it's all you. No pressure.
Had to feel good to see some of Cade's shots go down. He said that he needed it as a confidence boost, and that when the second one went down, kind of started feeling pretty normal.
Yeah, I was happy that he was able to make some shots. That's one of many things that he can do out there on the floor. That's a benefit to us. I thought he was playing confident. It's not about making shots. I've said a number of times in regards to Cade, he's a basketball player. Yes, he can shoot the basketball, but he can defend, he can rebound. He's a good passer. He understands how to play on both ends of the floor, and he's somebody that we need playing at a high level. And I was happy that tonight he played with confidence, and I was really, really proud of him.
Hubert, 64 points for any team in one half is pretty dang good. That's what you guys had in the second half. What did you think allowed you guys to get to playing to sort of that pace that you wanted against a team that likes to, sort of take their time?
Yeah, for this team to play at that pace, it is all tied to defense. I mean, it was the same way in the second half against Kansas. I mean, we got stops, and when you get stops and you finish it with a rebound, we're pretty good in transition. I mean, just our pitch aheads. I said at the beginning of the year, in order for us to be good in transition, one, you got to be in the best shape of your life, and two, there needs to be a full commitment. And there's been a full commitment with these guys in regards to sprinting to offense, and just the unselfishness of pitching the ball ahead, seeing the open guy, and having multiple guys when you pitch the ball ahead that actually can attack the basket and do something with it. I just think it's a huge benefit for us.
Hubert, how do you describe what you saw from Drake tonight? I mean, he led you guys in rebounding, had some pretty incredible blocks as well.
Yeah, he had 11 rebounds, which is huge, and that's just athleticism and length. You can use him in a number of different spots on both ends of the floor, and he does stuff that we didn't teach him or drill or wasn't in any station. The block, that's the second time he's done a block where he's caught it with both hands. Last time I can remember that was MJ doing that when we played together with the Wizards. We were playing the Chicago Bulls, and they were going in for a layup on me. They would have easily scored because there was no way I was going to do anything. And Michael at 40 came away from nowhere and grabbed it with two hands. And, he's just really elite. And he's just starting to scratch the surface of what he can do out there on the floor. And you combine that with the type of character kid he is. It's just, as I said before, he's always asking, what can I do more? What can I do better? Coming from a McDonald's All-American, that's rare. That's pretty cool.
Hubert, RJ was 1 of 6 tonight from 3, and I believe he's now 5 of 25 for the season. Mm-hmm. Is it just a matter of shots not going down, or is there something else going on?
No, I think, one of the things I tell the guys all the time is there are going to be times where your shot goes in, and there's times that they don't. Their percentages even out, and RJ is a great basketball player, but he can also really shoot, and those percentages are going to even out. There's going to be times where he's going to close his eyes, just throw the ball up, and it's going to be able to go in. One of the things and I did talk to RJ earlier this week, and I told him I felt like I could relate to him in regards to, I remember my senior year, the guys that I rolled with, or my better friends on the team, were King Rice, Rick Fox, Pete Chilcutt, and my roommate was Justin Carrault. He was the head manager. They were 1 year older than me, and they left. And I remember being the only senior. And even though I was playing with great players like Derek Phelps and Brian Reese and Eric Montross, my senior year, it took me a little while. It was just, the rhythm was just a little off. Where were my boys, and I would get the ball, but I would get it at a different spot, and it was just a little different rhythm, and it really took me a little bit of time my senior year to find that rhythm, and once I did, it was ready to go, and I feel the same way with RJ. When I told him that story, I could just see his face lighten up, and he goes, yeah, that's kind of how I feel, and I was like, yeah. I said, everything is fine. I said, just dive yourself into being a great defensive player, distributing the basketball, and I said, you're taking great shots, and they're going to go in. So I'm ready for him to make all of his shots.
Hubert, on that note, when you played, when you went through slumps in shooting, did you have like a go-to slump busting method that you can impart on some of these guys when they're going through that?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I did was always, first of all, I wanted to check my, technique. Was there anything wrong with mechanically that I was doing wrong? The second thing that I did was shot selection. I don't care how good a shooter you are, if you're shooting bad shots, they're not going to go in. And I would look at those two things, and then once I could check those two boxes, then I would just continue to get back in the gym. But I would just lose myself in other stuff. I would say, look, I'm going to get extra rebounds. I'm going to get extra assists. I'm going to get loose balls. I'm going to be even better on the defensive end, and not think about, oh my gosh, here comes my shot, I've got to make it, and just take my mind off of that. And those are the things that I did when my shot wasn't falling the way that I wanted to, and I just was confident enough if I, took good shots, eventually it would go in, and it worked out.
You had a really good year that season. Did you talk to them about the kind of year you ended up having? And
I did.
And how long did it take you to get to the point where you felt like you were back in the right kind of groove?
Yeah, probably on the road. We're playing Seton Hall in Madison Square Garden. I mean, in the Meadowlands. It was the ACC Big East Challenge against was it Terry DeHare and PJ Carlissimo and Luther Wright, and that was a game that I got into a rhythm, and from there I felt really good. And I told RJ that, and I said it's not going to take long. I said you just continue to be the player that you have been over the last 4 years, and everything will take care of itself. I thought he was the key to the game in the second half. I thought his leadership in the locker room, his his energy, his enthusiasm, the way that he was leading in the locker room at halftime, I thought was a #1 key in getting everybody really excited to play a better second half.
It was a career high for Jay Wash, but maybe more importantly, the fire from him beating himself up a couple times there. I mean, other than not injuring himself, that has to be something I would think you like to see out of him, that intensity coming out.
That's what I want to see from everybody. I'm an emotional person, and so I always tell them that, and I was an emotional player because I was doing something that I love at a place that I love with people that I love. And I said, if you could check those 3 boxes, I don't know how you not show emotion out there on the floor. I just remember playing, I would have tears in my eyes. I would just be so excited and joyful having an opportunity to play here, play on this floor, play for Coach Smith, play for this university, and play a game that I love in front of 22,000 fans. I don't know how you not beat yourself up with your hands, it's just, and so I love seeing that type of emotion from them. I encourage that every day. To do that, and to do that not only for yourself, but to do that and to be able to celebrate other people's success. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah, a couple more.
Just talking about that emotion, Jalen talked about going from being a passive player to a more aggressive one this season. Can you speak to the shifts you've seen from him from last season to this season?
Yeah, he's a lot more confident. His personality is coming out, and I specifically told the team this today. Whatever your personality is off the court, that's awesome. That's the way that Jesus made you, and we celebrate that every day. But if you're a quiet person off the court, you cannot be a quiet person on the court. If you're a laid-back, casual guy off the court, you cannot be a laid-back, casual guy on the court. Like you're gonna have, your personality is gonna have to change. And Jay Wash is a really sweet, quiet giant, and I love that about him. But on the court, I want the one that's hit himself in the head. I want that all the time. Not just for him, but for his teammates, which he does. If he gets a rebound, do that, or he dives on the floor. Again, it is a requirement of our guys. If you play for me, you got to have emotion, a passion to play, because that's the way that I coach, and that's the way I want those guys to play.
What's the biggest difference with Elliott driving to the rim now as opposed to last year?
Well, he can get there pretty much anytime he wants to, and It's, I know he got a charge. Didn't he get a charge call at the
Yes.
beginning? Yeah, he got one, but, you know, his ability to get into the lane, it's very rare for someone to get in there and be able on the fly to decide whether to shoot or pass. A lot of times people predetermine, they go in there, I'm only thinking shot, or man, I'm looking pass. Like he can make a decision in a split second. And in transition, ball screen action, he just has the ability to do that. But I think the biggest thing is his just growth as a leader. I mean, just in the locker room, we were talking, and like he talks now. Freshman year, he didn't say anything. This year, he's laughing, he's talking, he's communicating, he's encouraging, and you know, it's gotten off to a really good start.
That's a quick follow-up to that. How about playing through contact? Like he's handling stuff at the rim, getting the ball off a little bit more.
Yeah, he is. He is. You know, I mean, he's a strong kid. He can take contact and be able to finish, and but you know that goes back to his commitment in the summer. It hasn't just been on the shot. It's been in the weight room. It's been on his conditioning. It's been on his nutrition. He's done all of that. But you're right. When he gets into the lane, his ability to create contact and still be able to make plays, he's doing that at an elite level.